Well, this is the all-new VW Taigun. It's a car which doesn't need any introduction because this car really is a favorite with enthusiasts, with people who enjoy driving. And today I'll tell you all about this car's interiors, the exteriors, the driving bits as well, because there are some changes as you can see on the outside, but they are very subtle. If you put it across with the older gen of the car, you'll see that the big changes include on the headlamps and the bumper, but most of it is more or less the same. You get different design for the alloy wheels. They're still 17 inches, but you get different design on this particular version, which is the Highline version. And you also get a connected beam of lamp over the DRL now is a connected beam of lamp, which looks rather very cool. And the chrome has been reduced on this car. You get subtle chrome on the bumper, but not as brash or as aggressive as it was on the early version of the car. But which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the looks of this car, which now mimic its entire VW family? Because remember, the Taigun as well as the new Tiguan has a similar kind of setup. So do you prefer this look or do you prefer the square and boxy design of the previous generation car? You can let me know in the comment section below. This car really is all about the driving, but we'll tell you about the interiors, the changes, and of course the comfort as well. My name is Ashish Masi. If you come to this channel for the first time, then please do subscribe to it. If you've been here before but haven't shared any videos with your friends, then do share this video, because this video really is about passionate drivers. Now, if you move on to the side of this car, you'll notice these nice and new alloy wheels. They're of course 17-inch wheels, but the lower end, the lower trims of this car get 16-inch wheels, but even those come with alloys. So all the versions come with alloy wheels. There's no car which doesn't get alloys, and the side profile is more or less the same. You get this chrome finished roof rail, a lot of chrome on the side, and the back end you'll notice that you also get this connected beam of light, and it's a much more prominent light, clear glass, and it looks very cool. Now, since we're at the back, we'll also open up the boot and show you how much space. There is no powered tailgate, but even then there's plenty of place over here. You get a huge bag which you can fit in, and you can also fit in a couple of small bags. And this, for perspective in itself, is a nice and square boot. So that means that you have plenty of place to keep those small water bottles or big bags or anything in between. I'll give the boot of this car a good score in terms of the design, the shape, of 9 out of 10. What do you think of the looks? I think the subtle changes on the outside definitely make it feel a lot more muscular, and I'll give the exterior looks of this car also a good score of 9 out of 10. Let's jump inside the cabin and see what the big changes are over there. Well, so I'm inside the cabin of the new VW Taigun, and in terms of the overall shape, it's pretty much the same. So you get the same kind of silhouette, but they've used smart colors. They've used very nice bronze and gold elements over here. So it's got a nice mix of silver, bronze and gold on the color scheme. You also get cream over here, and of course beige leatherette seats. The big change, of course, is this huge sunroof. Now you get a massive panoramic sunroof, and it opens up all the way to the back, which gives you a sense of airiness inside the cabin. I won't open it all the way. You also get some changes on the interface of the stereo over here, or the infotainment system. Let me just switch on the car for a second, and that'll turn on, and you can see the changes over there. You also get completely digital dials now. It looks very cool, and they'll remind you of the digital dials of an Audi car, because remember, the VW group owns Audi, and you get the same kind of effect. You get the fuel gauge on the right and the temperature gauge on the left, and that is a little bit in digital and a little bit in analog, so it looks very cool. And of course the central gauges, the design can be changed depending on what you want to see. So that is something also which is very cool and gives you a sense of different personality which you can do with this car. And in terms of the older bits which could have been improved, the AC still is touchscreen, or rather touch panel, but VW has improved the condenser unit. They've made some changes on the internals. So the throw of air, the cooling system has been improved, because that was a big complaint on both Skoda as well as VW cars, and that has been answered finally, and it has been improved inside this cabin. Powered seats for the driver, powered seats for even the passenger, and of course the steering wheel adjusts both for rake and for reach. Now what I really like about this car is the fact that it just feels very nice and very snug inside the cabin. It's not a very huge and massive cabin, but it's perfect for people who prefer all the controls within arm's length, and in that sense it is quite good. The indicator stalks are still on the left hand side, just like a European car from 10 years ago, and I think this is a very cool thing, because it just makes this car have a different personality from every other Korean or Japanese car out there. And that's something that I think VW has left out on purpose. What you'll also appreciate is the overall seat comfort. The seats themselves are quite good. And this top-of-the-line version gets cooled seats both in the front, and you of course get this automatic start as well as stop button, which is of course something which you can use as a signal. You can switch it off and on as well. Cruise control is the feature that you get on this car, along with multiple airbags. And remember, VW were the first ones to offer you a 5-star crash test safe rating with this car when they launched it way back in 2021. So it is a car which has that big accomplishment of having been the first car with 5-star rating. There's still some cars in the segment which don't offer it, so this one can have that bragging rights. In terms of build quality, it is absolutely first rate, feels rock solid and feels very safe and secure for your entire family to be sitting in. Overall, it's a pretty impressive place to be. I'll give this car's interiors, the front end at least, a good score of 9 out of 10. They could have done some changes with the AC unit, and then I would have given it 10 out of 10. Let's jump in the back seat and see how good that really is. Well, so now I'm in the back seat of the new Taigun, and surprisingly, there's plenty of room over here. The front seats have been raised up so you can stretch your feet over there. It's nice and wide at the back. You can actually have 3 occupants, but it'll be better to have 2 because the seats themselves will be better for 2 people, because the AC unit is protruding over here a little bit on the outside. Also, in case you're moving fast and you want to jump out from the seat and move over here, your knee can actually crash into this. But I think if you move carefully, then you'll be okay. 2 USB Type-Cs in the front and 2 USB Type-Cs in the back. You also get nice windows, and I think that they've given you UV protected glasses, which means that the AC effectiveness will be quite good. You don't get that blind which you now get integrated into a lot of other cars, so that's something still missing on this car. Other than that, it's a nice place to be. Your own armrest, 3 big head restraints, and of course a big sunroof. Now the only thing I think that is missing over here is lamps at the back, because I'm surprised that they haven't offered any lamps. The earlier version used to come with a lamp over here, but that had a smaller roof. This one now has a bigger sunroof, so I think they've missed out on the placement of the lamps, because I can't see any lamps over here. So it might get a little dark in the dark inside this car, and then you'll have to use your cell phone's light at the back. But other than that, it's a nice place to be in. Seats themselves are quite comfortable. The backrest angle is quite good. Nice cushioning. Hip and knee angle is good. Plenty of place to stretch your feet. Easily sit here all day long. And if you prefer to sleep in the back seat, then you really are silly, because this car is all about the driving. And I think now we should get to the driving bits. Well, so now I'm driving the 1-liter version of the new Volkswagen Taigun, and we've also driven the Skoda Kushaq recently. So if you want to check out a video review of that car, you can click in the description box below. But this one is different from that car, even though they share a lot of mechanical parts. In fact, they share the entire chassis and the mechanical bits. The difference is that this one's suspension is slightly on the softer side. Now, don't get me wrong, it is still stiff, but it's not as stiff as it is on the Kushaq. So the difference is that when you're driving on, really badly patched up roads like we were driving in the morning around Jammu, the new highway which has been built, on that road, the bumps and the potholes and all those broken tarmac patches, they weren't as sharp as they would have been inside the Kushaq's cabin. So that's the big difference. This suspension setup is much more softer. Even these rumble strips which you can see on the road, they're more absorbent on the Taigun. That said, it still feels very nice and very agile when you're driving it on the highway. It does stick to the road quite nicely. The steering wheel, it's a nice and light unit. It's not as heavy as the 1.5, because the 1.5 also, remember, has a heavier engine, so that is a big difference. But it is quite okay for people who drive in the city, because people in the city don't really prefer very heavy steering wheels. They prefer light steering wheels, and they'll really enjoy the steering on this car. It's accurate, it is feelsome, but it is also pretty light. Now the big highlight, of course, of this entire package is the new 8-speed gearbox, and the big difference over the earlier version of the car, which had a 6-speed gearbox, is that the revs, they're always on the lower side. So with the extra 2 gears, now you get a less noisier cabin, because the previous version, it used to rev a little more. And VW claims that because of this gearbox, the fuel efficiency has gone up. Now, we haven't really seen a major difference. I think it's probably going to be a difference of about 5 to 7% on the long run, but that's something which we can tell you towards the end of the day. Right now, it's showing us about 12 kpl, and we've been driving this car for about 100 odd kilometers since the morning. So 12 kpl with, these mountains up and down, braking, not really being in the top gear, is quite okay. You can expect around 11, 10 kpl in the city, and about 15, 16 on the highway if you're driving on a flat surface on a very regular basis. But yes, 12 is what we're getting right now. with these curves and cuts and stuff like that. So that's something which you can expect when you're driving on hilly sections of the road. All that said, the cabin insulation is decent, but there's a lot of tire noise which comes in over bad patches. I think it's probably got to do with the tires, not with the suspension. That's something which VW will have to check and see what tires they're using, what brand of tire. But other than that, I think it's a very well sorted out package for keen drivers. If you are a keen driver, then really it's very difficult to ignore this car or say negative things about it, because this really is a very good package. Is it better than the Duster in terms of ride and handling? Well, I think the Duster is definitely better in terms of the overall ride comfort. Yes, that's the car which still is the benchmark, along with the Tata Sierra in terms of ride comfort in this segment. But in terms of pure driving pleasure, in terms of the pure enthusiast bit, I think it's very difficult to build a case against the VW Taigun. It doesn't matter which engine you're driving, the 1 litre or the 1.5, both of them are good to drive, and both of them have these PAL shifters on the automatic versions, which really are very nice. Both the upshifts and the downshifts are very engaging to drive. So overall, I think that if you're a keen driver, this really is the total package. And ignore all the other things. Ignore the fact that it doesn't have ADAS. Ignore the fact that the AC controls are a little fudgy to use. Ignore the fact that the side view mirrors are slightly tiny. All those things take second step when you're driving this car, because it really is a keen driver's car. And if you're a driver by heart, if you're somebody who enjoys driving, then there's no better car at this price point. It doesn't matter which engine. At this price point, 15 lakh rupees, automatic 1 litre, around 20 lakh rupees, 1.5 is the one to go for. If you enjoyed watching this video, guys, thanks for watching. Now we'll stop the car and give you a definitive summary report. Well, so in the market for a keen driver's car, a car which is a keen enthusiast car, you enjoy driving all day long, then the 1.5 TSI with the automatic gearbox is the one to go for. Forget all other rivals. Forget the new Duster, forget the new Sierra, forget the Creta, forget the Seltos, forget everything else and just buy this car, because this car really is all about the driving. The passionate ones will enjoy this car. It's also very good in terms of the build quality, and it's also very good in terms of the ride comfort. At faster speeds, it really does stick to the road. And I think that if you want something different from the usual, then this German flavored car is really top notch. Now, there are a few things which are missing on this car, which is of course the ADAS safety pack. That is something still missing, and that slider type AC which you have to use with your fingers can be a little annoying when you are on a long distance journey. But apart from those two things, I think that VW really has hit the ball out of the park with the new Taigun. It really is a fantastic product. It doesn't matter which engine you choose. You can choose the 1.5. Even the 1 litre is quite good, and you will be very happy and satisfied as a driver focused car. I'll give this car a very good score of 92 out of 100. I would have given it 95. It had ADAS, but unfortunately that's still missing. But apart from that, it really is double thumbs up to the new VW Taigun. Well done, Volkswagen India.